Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin' Mommy, and it's August 1st, the first day of Arbitrary August, and I did work on my diamond painting yesterday for Jessie Marie's 5th birthday sale for the letter D day, because this is a diamond painting and I was working on a diagonal. I, however, did not finish my diagonal, so I still have some gaps in there, and I will try to work on those the next few days to get that finished up. But it's looking fun. I enjoy this. I'm really winded. We spent the day at Six Flags today with all the family, and it was wonderful in the morning. The lines were really short. And then once afternoon hit, it got to be really crowded and really hot, and so now we're all just kind of tuckered out. So I need to draw my first whip for Arbitrary August on camera to know what I'm going to work on this evening while I'm chilling and waiting, trying to cool off. So, what is it going to be? See if I can read it through the little camera lens. Oh, La Soiree! Yay! This is one of my golden kites. I haven't worked on this in a while, but I'm working in the background, which is a bunch of not cool, but yellow, mild buttery yellow background for the wallpaper right now. So I think I may only have like one column on that. So I will go find it and show you where I'm at with that. So here's La Soiree. It's a golden kite pattern. There's like 3 or 4 different sizes of this pattern, and this is the one that I thought was the nicest for the detail without being too big, in my opinion. And this is how far I've trying to unroll this for you. This is how far I've gotten on that one so far. It's this is 24 count Congress cloth in like a tan beigey color, and I'm doing it 2 over 1/2 stitches. So it's a thick canvasy material. It's stiffer, and I know recently I saw Arlene Cohen's not recent Flosstube, it was 2 weeks ago, where she did a little counted canvas piece on Congress cloth, because it is stiffer canvas. But I like it for the full coverage pieces. It's actually pretty nice. So this is 24 count. And I will see, I do actually have 2 columns finished, so I will work on this 3rd column. And I have cropped this one. I've cropped 1 or 2 rows off the top and a little bit off of this side too. Non-essentials, in my opinion. Get to the good stuff. So I'm like right here, right before I'll get to her head in like another page or so. So that's where I'm at. See what I can do in one day. Talk to you later. Hi. So it's August 2nd, and this is how far I got yesterday and this morning on La Soiree by Golden Kite. I had a color that I had just started before it was time to be done stitching yesterday, and I wanted to finish it so I wouldn't be stuck with like a thread on my needle. I had to figure out what color it was for next time, because I don't know when this will come out again. So I got a little bit done in the 3rd, and then a little bit in the 4th too, just because of how the colors were flowing. And I was right, the 2nd page, like right about here, will be the First Lady's hair, so that'll be fun. Now I get to draw for Arbitrary August Day 2. So here we go. Let's pick a new whip. Is that more than one piece of paper? Okay. What will it do? It's hard to do with one hand. Ooh, Adia the Garden Fairy. This is a Mirabilia. It's been a while. Belinda the Aussie Stitcher has finished her recently, so that'll be fun to get her out again. I'm curious where I'm at on her, so let's go find her. Okay, this is Adia the Garden Fairy, and I keep forgetting to say, I realized after I filmed yesterday that the La Soiree piece worked perfectly, just like it was supposed to, for Jessie Marie's 5th birthday sale, because that day was the letter S, and there was a letter S in the pattern title. So that's like the perfect cooperative Arbitrary August pick yesterday. So that was great. Today's the last day of Jesse's birthday Flosstube anniversary Sal. It's free choice, and I believe today is her actual Flosstube anniversary, so congratulations, Jessie. And so this is my free choice pick, and it's for Arbitrary August Day 2. And this is how far I'm at on Adia the Garden Fairy. I remember when I started this when I was home visiting my mom, and she wanted to see what one of the wings looked like all finished. So I believe I probably started in the center somewhere and then worked my way up to her, and then she wanted to see what a wing looked like. So this portion of the wing is 100% done with like Krynic and beads and long stitches and everything. So I'm trying to think when I unrolled this what I might work on. I think there's still some holes in her hair and beads and things, so maybe I'll work on the flowers and beads in her hair, and there's a rose here and on her shoulders too, so maybe those colors will also be there. We'll see. But that could be fun to work in her hair embellishment area in there somewhere. So we'll see what I get done in just this one day, and talk to you tomorrow. Hi, so now it's August 3rd, Friday, and this is how far I got yesterday on Adia the Garden Fairy. I picked a couple colors of pink that I had not yet done in her headdress thing, and did them in her hair and in her sleeves, and there's like a little rose right here too. So I did two colors of pink. I was thinking of it'd be fun to bead, but once I had these colors on my needle, I kind of wanted to do them down here also instead of just hanging out in her hair. So I opted to do that instead of bead. So two colors, it's not too bad, especially since I was very distracted yesterday. I am happy with this. For some reason I hadn't been wanting to come back to it. It just never drew me or was interesting for some reason. And so I think this kind of was the kick I needed to like it again. So that's a good thing. I'm trying to think what I was going to say. Oh yeah, I called my mom yesterday, and normally I stitch while I talk to her, but I hadn't gotten this out yet, and I don't highlight my Mirabilia charts, so I wasn't sure where I wanted to start, which color I wanted to use, and etc., etc., so I didn't work on it then. So that was a missed opportunity, and I worked on Storytime Sampler instead. And then I had other things that were distracting me too. So I didn't get as much time on it as I maybe could have, but once I did get going on it, I enjoyed it and worked on it a little bit. So that's that for yesterday. I also worked on my diamond painting and got my diagonal finished. So that's fun. I really wanted to get that done and have it not sitting out anymore. So that diagonal is complete. And they are getting smaller now, each diagonal, so it's going to be fun kind of on the home stretch now. I might pull this out again if, I don't know, whenever I feel like it, but for now it's going to go away for a few days, at least. And yesterday I also finished working on a puzzle that I had started. My kids helped me with it a little bit, but it was mostly me, because it is a 1,000-piece puzzle. And I'm the puzzle junkie in the family, not not them. My two youngest like puzzles, but it was a little bit too much for them, I think. But it was Noah's Ark, and it had lots of fun animals all over. My older son wanted to do the lions. He's the least puzzly of all of us, so he picked out the grouping he wanted to work on, and I saved those pieces for him. But it was a really fun puzzle. This is one I was borrowing from my sister-in-law, so we did that yesterday too. Well, not all of it. We finished it yesterday. So now we can pull a new one for today. So let's see what we got today. Upside down. I knew it. Simpsons. I knew it. In the shower this morning, I was like, I wonder if I'm going to pull Simpsons today. And I did. This is my So it's totally deja vu right now, telling you that this is my least far along whip of all my whips, I'm pretty sure. So let me go find it and I will show you. So this is my Simpsons piece. It is a full coverage design that I found on eBay a while ago. I bought a Superman piece from this company that I did for my husband's best friend, and I finished that, and I think I bought this maybe at the same time without my husband's knowledge, because this is for him. And I focused so much on the other one, getting it done for our family friend, that I didn't ever do a whole lot on this one. And maybe it's how I'm doing it that I'm not crazy about it, but this is all I've gotten done. This is the top of Homer's head. And I'm doing this 32 count, 1/1. The Superman, I ended up doing 1/1 half stitch because 2/1 half stitch was too bulky, and 1/1 full cross was too time consuming, and I really wanted to do a half stitch to make it go faster. But this one I think would be better served with a full cross. So these are little tiny full crosses, and it looks like there's even a couple discolorations already because it's been sitting in my, I stitch in hand, and it's been sitting in my thing for like 10 years probably. So I'm not gonna do the white back here. Maybe not even here. But I am gonna do whatever is this color, and their eyeballs obviously, and his shirt. But I don't think I'm gonna do any of the other white. So mine won't be super full coverage, but it will be a lot of stitching. And it seems like it's gonna be a lot of full blocks, so it may not be that bad once I get into it. So I will work on that today and see how I feel when the day's over. Talk to you tomorrow. Hello, it is Saturday, August 4th, and you'll probably notice there's not a whole lot of change on my Simpsons piece. I have 2 new rows of stitches here, and that helped me discover why I haven't been working on this piece. It's super boring because it's huge blocks of color and going all the way down and all the way back. Each row feels like it goes really, really slow, and the fabric is horrible. It's the cheap white linen. You can see there how big of slubs there are in this. It's very inconsistent. So trying to do 1/1 is just rough. So as I was stitching those 2 rows, I contemplated I have 28 count fabric, even weave in my stash that I could scale up and still do 1/1 full crosses on 28 count. But then because the rows just seemed like they took so much longer than I would like, I decided, you know what? I still have some 40 count even weave in my stash that I could do 1/1 half stitches, and it would still look good because they're so tiny that they don't really look like a half stitch, because there's just, yeah, that's just how it is. And I've done a couple other things lately with 40 count half stitches and I like it, so I restarted it. And it looks awfully similar, but now it is, I got a slightly farther than I did before. This new row right here at the bottom that's where his eyeballs are gonna start. So I got just a tiny bit farther than I was before, and this is now 1/1 half stitches on 40 count. Much happier with this, and I definitely think I will come back to it off and on. I may even throw it in my rotation for a day here and there, like I do with my kids' pieces, to get it a little bit more consistent attention. The other thing I don't like about this pattern I got on eBay is the quality of the chart. It's a very poor print job, so that the ink kind of rubs off and it's faded a little bit, and the symbols are very similar to each other, where there's 2 different kinds of, hourglasses, one with the filled in on the top, one's filled in with on the bottom, and of course they're right next to each other, and there's a C, a U, an upside down art, like there's that, like the shape like this, that's like this way, and this way, and this way, and of course it's all in the exact same area, and various triangles and things like that. So I'm actually thinking of recharting it with my pattern software that I have, which will take a little while. So I currently continued with the chart as is. Like I entered in all the symbols in my software, and then realized if I'm going to get anywhere with this today, I'll just continue to use the old chart to work on this part, just so I could get this restarted. But now, going forward, I think I'm going to spend some time here and there when my husband's not around and rechart that with my pattern software so I can actually use it a little bit easier. So that's a restart. It is more likely to get done now. Yesterday, I also worked on Storytime Sampler. I finished Anne of Green Gables, which is why I thought I would bring it out and show you. I finished this yesterday while we were watching BattleBots, and then later my husband was reading to the kids, so I started another string of parchment up here in the top. Still have that on my needle, so next time I pick it up, I'll be working on that, and then I'll come start August, the Phantom of the Opera. So that's going to be an ongoing thing whenever I have moments like that, when I want something simple to work on, and whatever I've pulled for that day isn't necessarily that simple. So this comes out for that. So if I get another milestone, I'll show you, but otherwise I'll just keep plugging away at this. And now is time for my new draw for a new day, which has been really fun. I've been enjoying seeing everyone's Arbitrary August posts on Instagram. It's been a lot of fun to see everybody else participating in this too. And I really enjoyed the mystery of it. And it's a little weird not knowing at the beginning of the day what I'm going to work on today. But it is fun to pull out things that I would not have chosen and start working on them again. Because so far it has been good. It's been fun to rekindle some love, find out why I hated something and make it better, you know. Like with that Simpsons piece, I started that back, like I was still kind of working through what I liked, and I know more now. So it's good to kind of revisit some of the old pieces and make adjustments if necessary, or just remember why you loved it in the first place, like I did with the Garden Fairy. So, all right, so now let's see what today's gonna bring. Ooh, Villa Mirabilia. Here's another Mirabilia. She is large and in charge. She's a big lady. So let me go get her and see what I might want to work on today. So here's Villa Mirabilia. She's out of print now, but I got her, you can see from the thing, at Thumbelina in Solvang 15 years ago for our first wedding anniversary. And here is where I'm at now. She's big. Could barely fit her in there. Got a little bit of all the different colors in her skirt started. Her bodice is mostly done except for the beading, so I could bead today. Last time I worked on her, I went up here and then did this top border, so I could work on the bush. I could do more in her dress, so I'm not sure. It might be fun to do her beads, since I didn't get to the beads in Adia. But it also maybe do some more bush too. Maybe that's what I'll do. We will see what I decide to do when I come back tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Hi, so it is now Sunday, August 5th. And I am really happy with how far I got yesterday on Villa Mirabilia. So I'll get closer here. I started out beading her hair, and so there's some beads and metallics in here. You can kind of sparkle a little bit in amongst her beads and her necklace. She's got a long earring. Sorry, I feel winded again. I'm filming upstairs in my daughter's bedroom, and so I I brought this up, and then I realized I forgot my bowl for Arbitrary August, so I ran downstairs, came back upstairs. Now I'm trying to film after running upstairs twice. So anyways, I finished her beads up here, and then worked some more, finished this little guy, this rose, and some of the purple hadn't been done yet. And then a little bit of the pink was down here, so I finished my strings there, and then I finished this part in her, I guess it's like the shadow of this part of her dress here. And a little bit more of that string came down here just to finish it out. And then I backstitched her arm. So I really love that. That was really fun to work on. So let's see if I can pick a new one for today. I'm not sure how much time I'll get today, so hopefully I pick something, there's more than one here, something that's kind of small. So we'll see. Nothing I have is small, so open. Princess of the Sea. This is a fairly new one that I started in Mania. So that's a full coverage piece. But it is fairly small, so maybe I'll still get some time. I have some company coming. It's not focusing. I have some company coming later on today, and they're spending the night. So I am not sure how much time I'll get to stitch today. So we will see. Talk to you later. So this is my mini Princess of the Sea. It is a Heaven and Earth design by Donna Gelsinger, maybe? I tend to like her stuff. Let's see. Yeah, Donna Gelsinger. And it's the mini. And this is what it will look like. And this is my start on it after a week or so during Stitch Mania. And I have the first column done plus whatever I filled in next door. So we'll see how much I can get done in column 2 today on my day when I have a lot of other stuff going on. So we shall see. Talk to you later. Hi, so now it's Monday, August 6th, I think, and day 6 of Arbitrary August. This is how far I got yesterday on Mini Princess of the Sea, and I had so much fun. I wish I had had more time to work on it. I had family coming through, coming just through town, but they spent the night at our house last night, so in the evening we were sitting around talking, and it just didn't seem quite right to get my stitching out. But they ended up going to bed early because they were going to get a really early start this morning, and so I ended up having a little bit more time in the evening to stitch, which was nice. Then I had just a little bit of time in the afternoon and then a little bit more time later at night. So I think I got like 4 colors done, which each strand on 28 count, this is 28 count 2 over 1/2 stitches, and 1 strand goes a long way. But I think I got about 4 colors done, and I would have had spent way more time on it if I had the opportunity. So this will probably be coming out again for fun in the future. So let's see now what we have for today. Let's see. Cherry Kitten, woohoo! This is my new one that's going to be on the Pole Stitches fabric. So that's going to be fun. I only got a couple days on this past month, so it'll be fun to put another day in and see how far I can get on the top of the kitty. Let's go find it and show you what it looks like now. So this is Cherry Kitten by Arbitrary, and I am doing a no background version. So the clouds in my version will be this fabric by Pole Stitches. It's also a 28 count fabric, but I am doing 1 over 1 full crosses on this one. And here's the no background version that I'm doing. And this is how far I've gotten on the kitty's head. I have a little bit of brown in here, was the first color, and then I was working on some black, 310. So I'll probably keep working on a little bit more black and then pick some other colors to do, because I think I still have, I still have some black on my needle. So I'll finish that black and then maybe work on some other colors, because there's some whites and oranges in here too that could be fun to work on. So, and maybe even some pinks in the ear. So we'll see how far I get today. Talk to you later. Hi, it's now Tuesday, August 7th, and this is how far my kitty got yesterday. Looking super cute. I ended up doing more black than I expected just because I wanted to finish up its face. So I had stopped halfway through this eye last time, so I finished that eye and this stripe, and then got halfway through this eye, and I'm like, well, I can't leave it there. So I finished that eye and his or her nose that stripe and like a little bit here. And then I went back and did one more brown color, just one string of that did this area right here. So there's more of that, but I only did one string. And so he's looking real cute now. A nice place to stop. As always, I wish I could have gotten more, but you know, one day is, you can only do so much in one day. So I enjoyed that. And now for today's pick. I am taking these out and not returning them to the bowl after I've picked them. So everything will be different every day. And I'm doing this through the viewfinder every day too. With one hand. So it's a little bit tricky. But it is, oh fun, antique shoe collection. This one I haven't worked on in a really long time. It's an old, maybe Janlin or Busilla kit. And I have a few shoes done, and so let's go find that and see where I might want to work on, what part I might want to work on today. So this is the Antique Shoe Collection by Busilla, and it's a fairly old kit, so I don't know if you could find it anymore, but I used to collect Victorian shoes that were tall, like the boot style. Not necessarily leopard print, but the kind with the buttons all the way up, and like the black ones. And then if there were fancy varieties, I liked those tall boots. So I would collect little figurines and things. So when I saw this, I thought, oh, perfect, shoes, I love it, you know. So I did a few of the shoes, but it is nowhere near finished. This is where I'm at so far. So I have finished this center shoe, and this one, and backstitching as well, and this one with its ribbons. And so it looks like I'm in the middle of this one. I'm not sure how much stitching I have left, but I definitely have backstitching left. So I might work on that one to make sure all the stitching is done and maybe start some backstitching and then move over to the bow or this green one or something, you know, or maybe even some of the border. So I'll probably focus up here and kind of see where I get to today. Hi, so it's now August 7th, August 8th, Wednesday, and this is how far I got on Antique Shoe Sampler, Antique Shoe Collection. I finished this shoe stitching. There was just these white dots and the outer white frill in here was the only cross stitch left, and then this little pin I cross stitched and then finished up the string by starting on the border, and then I started back stitching. So there's a gray strand right there, and then all these little dots are back stitched in burgundy, and then I started the charcoal color that's like outlining all of this stuff. And then the day was over. Oh yeah, that's right. I have a tiny bit left on my needle. I was thinking of finishing it before I put this away, but I am on to bigger and better things now. So that just might end up staying on the needle. But I love backstitching, so that was kind of fun to do. And this piece is definitely more suitable to the high school version of me than the current version of me. But it is still fun to work on. It has lots of pretty colors, and I'll probably keep chipping away at it over the years and either give it to my daughter or put it in my Etsy shop or give it away on my channel at some point when I finish it. So we'll see. It's still fun to work on. So that's that one. I also had some happy and sad mail. This beautiful purple floss. Let's see if we put it over here, if it would be. See a little bit. Yeah, the color's not really coming out. But this was from Rita Marie. It's from Hand Dyed by Rolanda, and it's just color 28. So it is not a specific name, but it is purple variegated and it's really pretty. Cotton variegated floss. She sent me a whole envelope of some little flosses, and this is the only one that showed up. So there was a Kreinik and some Victorian model threads that got lost in the mail. There was a hole in the envelope and they fell out. So she suggested I call my local post office and see if they'd seen it. And they looked around yesterday and didn't find it. But they recommended I go and open a missing mail search form online. So I've done that. So if it got lost somewhere in the United States, there's a chance somebody might find it and send it to me. But coming all the way from Norway, who knows where it ended up popping out of the envelope, and I may or may not see that again, so that's really sad. For both of us, for her too, to have sent it to me and then it didn't end up making it here, so. But at least I can enjoy this one, so we'll see. So thank you for that, and I'm sorry the mail let us down, but I also got this fun card and package from Vintage Stitches, Elizabeth. This is just a photo she'd printed out of Pretty Christmas, and she has a little note on the back saying who the package is from. So I thought that was clever. She has a picture of her, I'm assuming her finish. It's a cross-stitch finish. And that's just a really clever idea. And then she gifted me Lily of the Woods by Mirabilia, which is one I did not have. She had a few that she was looking to pass on to other people, and this one appealed to me because I have Midsummer Night's Fairy finished already, and this looked like it would be a fun companion piece to that. This is the Lily of the Woods. It says the Dreaming Fairy, so she's meant to be at night also. So like they show her here on like a darker green or even at a medium blue like I have Midsummer Night's Fairy on, she could be a fun companion piece to that. So that was my happy mail so far. And now I will draw for day 8. And this will be my last piece of this blog. I'll go ahead and show you what it is and then come back tomorrow and tell you how far I got. And then that will be the 8th piece will be the end of this part. And then I'll post it. So I'll do 4 sets of vlogs. So it'll be 8, and 7 as far as how many projects are in each vlog. So that's kind of my plan, unless the train falls off the tracks and I have other things that I have to do in real life. That's my plan. So let's see, what's today? Oh, fun, Daisy Girl. I seriously have not worked on this at all in a very long time. So let's go take a look at it and see. This is one that's kind of a question, so if I still want to work on it, so we'll have to see. Let's go take a look and see what this one's like. Hi, so this is Daisy Girl. It's a Leisure Arts leaflet, number 2616, if you're interested. It's pretty old, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to find it anywhere, but I thought this was really cute. Maybe I'll get you closer instead of moving it around. And I haven't worked on this in a really, really long time, and I'm not really sure why. It is on MCG Textiles linen. This is how far I've gotten. So I have her bodice started or done. I think it looks like it might be done, just not backstitched. And then her hand. So I need to do her head, rest of her dress, and like all the grass and flowers, which will be pretty. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'll go try to work on her head. Maybe if I have her head done, I'll be more inclined to want to work on her. To have something cute to look at while I work on the rest of her. So we'll see which direction I go for the rest of the day. Talk to you later. Hi, so now it's Thursday, August 9th, and this is how far I got on my Daisy Girl yesterday. There was a little bit of this color on my needle, so I finished that up, and then I moved up here to the skin of her neck and face, which is what I was planning to do. And I discovered why I probably put this piece down in the first place, probably, I don't know, 15 years ago. And I also just kind of rekindled my interest in it at the same time, even though it's difficult. So some of the problems I found. So the pattern calls for 28 count fabric and to be stitched 3/2, which is already thicker than I normally would do. This is 32 count MCG Textiles linen, probably in silver, which means it's like 32 this way and 28 this way. So it's partially what they called for, but not completely. So it's the 3 strands kind of works, but it is a little bit bulky. The other thing the main thing that is hard with this pattern is that they have symbols for quarter stitches and 3/4 stitches with a lot of different colors. And the biggest thing that's hard about that is that the 3/4 stitches are like random colors that are completely not related to the color, the original symbol. And let me see if I can show you just a portion of the color key to demonstrate. These are some I was working on yesterday. So like that 950 and 3773, that one is a blended color that's tan with little dots. The quarter stitch symbol is also tan with little dots, but then the 3/4 symbol is bright blue. So when you're like looking at the pattern, it's hard to know as you're going along that something belongs to you, because there was one that was like a green 3/4 symbol, and I missed it because I wasn't looking for green. I was looking for my tan whatever it was symbol. So it's just a little bit crazy. So the face especially has a lot of quarter stitches and 3/4 stitches. It will also have a little bit of back stitching on top of all of that. So it's very detailed and slightly confusing, but I think, not yet please. Once I finish this face, her little bonnet and ties have a lot of quarter stitches and stuff too. But once I finish that area, that's like the worst of it, I think. There's a little bit more along the edges of her dress and stuff, but that's the worst of it. So I accomplished two things yesterday. I got some cuteness started to make me want to keep working on this, and I tackled probably the hardest part of the chart. There's still a little bit more to go, but I got a lot of it done, and that's a good milestone to kind of a hurdle to get over. So today I'm going to end the vlog here, and I'll draw my project for today in the clip for part 2 of my vlog. So in the meantime, I thought I would share with you some of my pieces I've been working on along the way. So this is Storytime Sampler, and since you saw it last, I've slowly built up a little bit of this border for August. This will be the Phantom of the Opera. So far I've been just working on this one strand here and there as I can, while we're watching shows or whatever, which is not that frequent. So that's as far as I've gotten, and hopefully I'll have more to show you at the end of each vlog that's a little bit farther along. So that's where that one is right now. And then my 100 Days of Hade piece, the Furry Animals freebie, is right here. This last color I did was this blue up here in the sky, and then I'm starting in on this really dark 3371, I think, in their eyes and down here, and then there's going to be a good amount of it in the squirrel and in the middle here. So that's the next color I started on, and today is this is through day 38. Today will be day 39, but I have not yet stitched today. So this is day 38's progress, and I will leave you here. I have had a lot of fun so far working on this, having all the anticipation of what I'm going to work on, and enjoying pulling things out that I haven't worked on in a really long time, and just rediscovering my love for those pieces and why I chose them in the first place. It's been a lot of fun seeing your guys' posts pop up on Instagram and hear you guys talk about it on your YouTube channels. So overall, I think it's been really fun. I think you guys are enjoying it too. So however often you're able to participate, if you want to, it's been fun to share this with you, and I hope you'll enjoy the rest of your August. And happy stitching!